So we're in day 5 of the burpee war, and I thought it might make some sense to talk about why I train anyway. Like, why do all these goddamn burpees? What's the point of all this, you know? Like, what's a list of priorities? And I guess the first thing on that list for me would have to be longevity. Which is quite a departure from where I was even just a couple years ago, say like pre COVID. I used to always train for performance, which never treated me well. I mean, I was injured twice a year, kind of seriously, and I always had some nagging tweak going on. Um, that matters less and less to me now. Um, I find myself thinking more about not necessarily living a long life, but living well into an old age. I have 2 children. Fingers crossed, even though I'm old as dirt, I'd like to have a third. And I don't just want to be alive to see my grandchildren, but I'd like to be healthy, vital, able to run and play with them. And so a lot of my training is geared towards how best to stay healthy on the long haul. My second priority would have to be enjoyment. Um, you can see me, you can see my body here. I'm relatively thin, even waifish. I'm not necessarily well built for powerlifting, but powerlifting's what I enjoy. I enjoy the three principal movements: the squat, the deadlift, the bench. And even though it's adjacent, I enjoy the overhead press. My leverages are not great for this. I will always be a substandard power lifter, but I enjoy that style of training and I enjoy those movements, so I pursue that. Trying to train in some modality that is just a misery for me, um, I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm not going to follow up on that. I can't invest in it, you know? So I want to pick something that I like and something that's going to keep me healthy for as long as possible. My third priority is performance. And this used to be my first priority, as I stated earlier, but it had burned me so terribly so many times. Just chasing some number or some score in a run or a lift that was out of reach and grinding my body to dust. Performance is important, and I have goals that I'm chasing, but they take a back seat to like staying healthy and enjoying myself. I still keep these goals kicking around, you know. There's a bench I'd like to hit, there's a squat and deadlift I'd like to hit, there's running times I'd like to hit. But if I don't hit those, there's no consequence. Nothing really happens, you know? It's mostly about the other two. Those things are just kind of to keep me on the right path. It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but I really have COVID to thank for putting me on the right path, helping me restructure my priorities. I think if we hadn't had that nationwide shutdown and that time, arguably the first time in my adult life where I was unemployed, to actually just sit at home and think about my life and think about the choices I've made, then I wouldn't have come to this, I don't know, I call it a wisdom. Like it seems even obvious and naive, but a sort of wisdom that came from just having a moment to like breathe and really think about it. Like, I think in the back of my mind, I always had this absurd fantasy that I was going to be an elite athlete in some specific field. I didn't even have a field designated, but part of me just harbored this fantasy. And until we were in shutdown, until I was home alone, oh, my last set, I'm doing 10 reps. Um, this toxic fantasy just poisoned everything I did and constantly left me injured. And I don't know. It was nice to like have that time to sit and really consider what I was doing and get a little bit older and a little bit wiser. So here I am finishing off the burpees. These are my last few sets. I did 6 every minute on the minute. The last set was 10. I guess just to punish myself. And coming up after the burpees, I'm going to do a quick little bit of my overhead press work. Today was a 3 rep max, and I did it with weighted pull-ups. I like the antagonist movement for overhead press of doing the weighted pull-up. Oh, look at that beard. Such a handsome man. Little kiss for you guys, my sweeties. And yeah, I've got Mr. Sinister on, 30-pound weighted vest. Give myself a nice little slap. I do 3 pull-ups and then 3 presses overhead. This is 105 pounds. After this, I did 115 for 3 reps, but I didn't film that because I was pretty sure I was going to fail and I was too shy. So anyway, those are my priorities. If you watched all the way through this, you're an interesting person. Congratulations. Maybe comment below. What are your priorities? Why do you train? And yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know. I don't have much else today. I'm still kind of burnt out from work. It's a long week in Savannah, St. Patty's and all that. But I love you guys. Be good to each other.